And
memory?
Well, not that long ago, because you've kind of never been out of the public eye since you first became a model.
That's true.
What made you decide, though, that you would actually bear almost all for the newspapers?
I was quite by accident, really. I mean, I was modelling anyway. I was doing catwalk and I was doing a lot of photography, fashion. But basically, my bread and butter was corsetry, swimwear and hosiery. Didn't want to know much about my face. But anyway, so I was working anyway, and it was just one of those giggles. It's an end of a shoot, and I was, yoo-hoo! And we were just messing around, and suddenly, before I knew it, it was on the third page of the newspaper. About 3 days later.
See, I love the way you said it was on the third page of the newspaper.
Well,
whereas we say page 3.
Well, there was no such thing as page 3. That hadn't happened. I can only assume that there had been a serious lack of news on that day, and that the editor thought, what the hell are we going to put in the paper? I know, why don't we put a picture of, oh, she looks all right. She's got a kit off, but we'll stick it in. And it caused such a furor. You know, they had, the newspapers went potty, then television had, on what the papers say, sort of labelled it as being shocking and quite outrageous. And since that, well, hence page 3 was born from that day, and it is now a British institution and a way of life.
And all because you felt a bit loose and unbuttoned at the end of a corset.
Well, exactly. I was feeling just a little bit frisky, and we were larking around at the end of a session. There was just a few frames left on a roll of film, and we were just joking. Did
you get any negative reaction from friends or relatives? Was anybody shocked by it?
They were pretty gobsmacked, yes. But it wasn't bad, it wasn't rude, it was just shocking. For that time, we're talking about the 70s, well, 1970.
Well, talking of shocking, see, I read your book, Playing for Love, your new book.
My new book, my second novel.
And I was a bit shocked.
But you're a man of the world, Paul. Now, come on.
It's a bit fruity, Jilly.
No. You said you'd been around the block a few times.
I know, but it's okay. It's set in the world of tennis. Yeah. It's a kind of snapshot of this time. But it is a bit on the rude side. And you said to me, it's not as rude as actually it could have been.
Oh, no, it's not that saucy, actually, because Simon & Schuster said, well, the first novel was quite racy, because it was all about the glamour industry. It was about modelling. It was sex, drugs, rock and roll all the way. And I wrote this with the similar ingredients. And they said, oh, no, it's far too racy. It's a bit too much. So it's tamed down quite a bit.
So what kind of things did they take out, Jilly?
Well, I've got those. I've edited those. I'm saving them for you later.
And I have to ask you this, Jilly.
Yes.
Naomi Campbell, another beautiful woman model, wrote a book, only she didn't. Somebody else wrote all the words for her, and she just signed the contract. Did you write this yourself, all of it?
Every single word. Come and look at my word processor. Yes, every single word. On the first novel, Double Exposure, they took it as it was and printed it as it was. With Playing for Love, they have edited out some bits, that's all. But every single thing, I've worn my little fingers out.
And those bits are on a floppy disk somewhere?
Yes, they certainly are.
In your drawer?
They are.
Now, a lot of models now go from, say, going to singing, which I know you did in the 80s as well. They'll go into keep fit and stuff. And we've managed to dig out one of your keep fit endeavours.
Oh, no.
Because, Jilly, you've got a beautiful face, unlined. Do you still do your 3-minute facial workout?
I certainly do.
For those of you who want to try this at home, take a look at Jilly Johnson's 3-minute facial workout.
Mean. You are so mean.
You need to use a mirror at first, so that you can check you are moving the right muscles. But once you've mastered the exercises, you should be able to do them just about anywhere. One thing you should always bear in mind is that you will see the best improvement in muscle tone if you always use slow, controlled movements. These make the muscles work harder and so get the quickest results. Don't overwork the muscles by doing the routines too often, but don't expect good results if you only do them every 2 or 3 weeks. Ideally, you should try and do at least one of the 3-minute programs daily, and for best results, alternate these with the intensive program at least once a week. As you can see, it's almost impossible to talk while you're doing these exercises, so I'll be taking you through all the routines with the help of some friends who will be actually demonstrating them for you.
Now, I do need a bit of help in that department.
That particular exercise is to exercise the platysma muscle, which is this muscle here. Yeah. So you have to use that.
And what muscle are you exercising with? That is just for lips and
that's for the mouth area, you see.
Now, I do need a bit of help with my eyes, Jilly. What should I go for?
Oh, that's easy. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I can sort that out
It's more
for
the
you.
kind of...
Yeah. Well, no, what you do is you pull your bottom lid up to your top and you exercise it. But there's ways of pumping out all the little crevices and crow's feet. You can pump up the muscles underneath, you see, so that they don't look so ravaged. We can sort of
If you ever get fed up with a facial exercise, would you ever consider a bit of the old surgery?
Well, why not? I mean, one day, possibly, but the thing is, if I can stave it off for as long as possible, then I will. Even if I do look a bit ridiculous in the meantime.
And do you ever get offers to go down memory lane, to relive past triumphs, and to get your kit off once again for the lads?
I've had some very interesting offers, actually, from some quite well-known magazines, and they were telling me... No, I'm not going to say because I am considering it. I have thought about it. But Joan Collins, Bo Derek, they've been in their 50s. Well, I've got a few years to go, but...
so maybe in 25 years' time, when you're in your 50s.
I'll have to ask my daughter's permission. I don't know if she'll figure that that's ladylike.
Listen, it's been great talking to you, Jilly. Thank you for your time. The book's called Playing for Love, and Jilly was in a band in the 80s called Blonde on Blonde, and girl power seems to be the thing at the moment. But forget the Spice Girls, and away with all those other contenders, because we are honoured to have a foursome who are fantastic. They're going to rock your socks off. They're called All Saints.
Bring it on now.
not duty calling, that was the booty call from All Saints. More from them later on, and from a girl group to a group of boys who dominated the pop charts in the early 70s, the Osmonds. But before you start moaning, let's introduce you to one very special fan of the Osmonds.
Well, I always decided if Donny Osmond wasn't going to ask me to marry him, then I'd marry Jay. He was my second best. I always decided, you know.
You've been my favourite since I was 11 years old.
Is that right?
What was it about Donny? He was just, he was the cutest. I mean, no beating around the bush. And I think he still is, isn't he? He's a good-looking chap still.
Well, if you're wondering if there are any Osmond fans still out there who love them for a reason, will you welcome, please, Lynn Roby, who's gone from puppy love through puppy fat, and you're still a big Osmonds fan, aren't you, Lynn?
I am, yes.
Welcome to the programme. Give her a round of applause, please.